In America, we're a land of immigrants. But there's always an assumption that when you're born in America, that English is going to be your first language. You know, while I was born and raised on the Lower East Side of Manhattan, English was not my first language. My first language is actually Cantonese to Chinese. And so I relied on public school to teach me how to read. I remember chapter books, you know, looking at just a lot of words on a page with no pictures. It felt very intimidating. That feeling of not being good enough, that feeling of the fear of going to school. I know firsthand that, you know, students that really struggle in school really struggle to have that confidence and motivation. This neighborhood has changed a lot, but my elementary school is still right here, and every time I walk past it, I always think about my experience.
I can't wait for you to be looking in classrooms.
You know, if it wasn't for public school and learning how to read, I wouldn't have these opportunities to be who I am today.
Make sure you're taking pictures.
My name is Carrie Chan, and I'm the superintendent of District 1.
Fiction is a book with characters, a setting, and a story with a beginning, middle, and end. When you think for a moment, what happened in the story?
When I started in 2017, we were still teaching literacy through a whole language approach, balanced literacy. Less than 30% of our students in grades 3 to 8 were reading and writing on grade level. Yeah, we can try. It doesn't hurt to try, and then we'll figure it out, right? Who are the main characters?
When I became a teacher in 2007, I thought that I was going to meet a bunch of eager adolescents, and they were not excited. But the reason they weren't excited isn't because they didn't have intellectual curiosity. It's because many of them could not read. They were so scared of everyone learning their secret that at 14, 15, 16, and older, they were not able to decode some simple text, and they certainly struggled with comprehension.
What 3 things do we know about the letter Y?
People act as if the status quo is something that needs to be guarded instead of something that really is the problem. The status quo is not nearly good enough, and we have to be willing to change it.
And what we've done is our teachers now have access to a curriculum and training in that curriculum to address the gaps that children come in with each and every day.
And so New York City Reads is extremely important. Every single student in New York City can and will achieve if they have the right team behind them.
Let's read the whole thing once more for me, okay? You'll read the whole thing for me again?
New York City Reads has us going back to, for no pun intended, foundational ways of teaching reading, which are through phonics, phonemic awareness, fluency, comprehension, and vocabulary, and all those things put together that have to be taught explicitly.
We're building this real fast. When everyone said year 1 and year 2, it was a huge thing. We were trying to figure out how are we going to make this happen.
New York City Reads will impact 350,000 students in K through 5 across 843 schools, including 365 that began last year during phase 1.
The commitment and the scale is very impressive. It's a huge change that was a long time coming, but sort of a short time happening, and I just want to appreciate that.
This is a priority for everyone in New York City, and specifically our superintendents and our leaders in schools.
We as a community needed to understand how are we teaching reading, and taking a look at what's working was very, very important as well.
Sounds pretty excited. Are we ready?
Yeah!
All right.
In
In order to scale New York City Reads, we did a lot of community engagement. We got feedback from our families. What are their hopes and dreams for their child?
I shared that my hope is that the autonomy of the local schools who know their parents, who know their students really well, and who have a history will still be listened to as they roll out this big change.
And I'm like, well, this isn't how I was taught. Well, why can't we just kind of go back to the olden days, right?
I think it's not one or the other. I think you can do both. You can do definitely signs of reading. You know, this New York City Reads initiative is great. We can foster the love for reading while also teaching our students how to read.
I mean, we want every single child in New York City to be able to read and to read confidently. And those building blocks start at the earliest age, but we need to meet kids where they are at the moment and make sure that they can continue to read and develop a love for reading.
We were curious to see what the new curriculum would look like. We had 3 choices at the time, and the district really included school leaders in the decision of which one to choose.
We decided that EL curriculum most closely aligned to our vision and what the stakeholders were reporting about as far as wanting more experiential learning, project-based learning, and just incorporating joy.
There were a couple of things that stood out to us about the expeditionary learning that we liked. So the first thing I would say that really stuck out to us are the protocols.
So this is my first grade classroom.
We're tapping out words with 2 syllables or compound words with vowel teams.
What's different is much more intentional and much more with the understanding of how kids' brains work, starting with the most basic foundational literacy and using a system of phonics and phonemic awareness in a very sequential and intentional order.
We are reading the sound, we are not reading the name. So later today, in today's phonics lessons, I will be asking you these questions. What does it say? Exactly.
To take those 26 letters in the alphabet and manage the 44 sounds that each one of those letters is capable of making. I think that, once you put a decodable text in their hands and they're able to read those words on a page, I don't think there's anything more exciting than that.
E, good. Where's the E? There you go, good job.
After they learned all their letters, things started to click for a lot of them, and seeing the sounds, letter patterns that they notice and how they can apply that to the decodables that they read and different activities that we do, and it's a lot of chance for them to practice.
I'm gonna leave it right here.
Sure.
Well, my son's reading experience is mostly from school. He comes home with his EL homework and his poetry homework, and we do lots of pronunciation. He knows all his vowels now. He's learning by phonics too, so he's really dedicated to pronouncing every single letter that he reads, and that's been helping him so much, yeah.
Another thing that we liked about EL was the content that they brought. It was interesting content, it was rich for a lot of students.
What do we have here?
Rattlesnakes have chemistry. They can inject venom more easily.
Boom. Let's get that in there. Yes, so they can inject venom.
Now, because of EL and New York City Reads, no child is going to be stuck on level O. Every child is making, right? That's no more levels. So no child is stuck like they used to be, and now every child is making progress.
What letter is underneath the dot?
The science of reading is very new to all of us, and so we were worried about, how we're going to get the teachers all on board. We made a concerted effort to talk to all the teachers, to gather a lot of feedback, and of course our principals, because change that is hard. So we wanted to make sure to first survey them, ask them what their needs are, what their concerns are.
All curriculum takes work, whether you're creating it from scratch or you're taking something and fitting it to your class. It all takes work. But there have been challenging things in this.
How about lesson 11? What's the purpose of lesson 11?
One of the things teachers need most is just time. They need to plan, they need to look at it, they need to read it, and so we're really prioritizing that.
The
approach within this curriculum is definitely different than it is in any other curriculum that I've ever used. The lessons are long. The teacher guide is expansive. The amount of transitions within each lesson for students can be a lot. The texts can be complex and challenging.
Pacing tends to really be problematic, so really helping teachers with the unpacking and doing those unit plans.
One of the issues that we're running into is pacing.
A lot of you said, I need help with pacing. How do I fit everything in?
Pacing is a very big concern for absolutely all of our teachers.
So really, the pacing is super important. It's really about how are we teaching those strategies? How are we teaching the main idea, the key details around the text? So just keeping that the main thing.
The new guidance has been helpful, so having permission to be up to 2 weeks behind in whatever lesson you're doing on a given day, that feels much better and definitely is less of a pressure.
We have time built into our teachers' schedules every single week to work together as a complete grade team, specifically to unpack the modules, the units, and the lessons of EL.
My favorite module to teach was actually module 3 and 4.
I think the other challenge is definitely we have received so many materials, making sure that the teachers feel supported.
So all of these things kind of make it a heavy lift, but it's also what makes it a very good curriculum.
I mean, I would say don't give up. You know, keep trying. Like, you know, most of us, we struggled in the beginning, but thank God for colleagues, good colleagues. No matter where you are, you know, just go and ask for help.
I think my father always shared this with me, but every challenge comes with an opportunity. It's challenging in a sense that things are moving very quickly, as we all know, you know, and it's how do we adapt to those changes and making sure that we keep our eyes on the North Star, which is our students.
Just really learning the science behind how students learn how to read is so crucial. And like when we were growing up, it was just like you memorize it. Like you memorize the word is and you memorize the, and that's just how it goes. But now it's like there's concrete things, and like we teach the kids like why certain words do what they do or make the certain sounds, and it's made such a difference.
At school, I didn't learn to read till I was in 3rd grade. And that was done at the result of my mom. Yeah. So I feel like even through the science of reading, learning it as how to teach it, I've become a better reader.
The end. Clap your hands if you like this job.
Yeah.
It impacted generations.
Yeah.
100%.
We are a dual language Mandarin school, and the focus primarily here is on dual language Mandarin acquisition. But EL was honoring a wide array of demographics where our students were seeing themselves inside the stories, inside the curriculum.
Okay, friends, now take a look. How many more new words?
And because it took an interdisciplinary approach where it now made the learning exciting. The tasks, the assignments, the stories were things that had our students at the edge of their seat.
We gotta learn how to become play experts.
I was a multilingual learner myself, being born in the Philippines and growing up here in District 1. And I didn't have any teachers that looked like me or that even understood that Philippines was a country. The curricula exposes them to content from all over the world and experiences from all over the world. And so if you're a multilingual learner, it's definitely elevated that you are important, that language is important, and that culture is important.
And we think the main idea is they need to deliver books to kids in Zimbabwe because they don't have that much access to books.
And then they see themselves in the books, and that's very important. Before we were just reading to read, but now they can, wow, this is my abuela, this is my abuelita. I can see myself in the stories.
Where the excitement, just as of today, we were at 98% attendance and only 8% chronic absence. So essentially our goal about getting kids excited to come to school is living throughout this EL curriculum. It's aiding in our philosophy where we want kids jumping out of bed rather than parents, right, having to fight the fight to say, hey, the alarm went off, got to go to school. Kids are jumping out of bed and they're getting here. And we're excited about it.
You know, they're able to take what we're learning about how other places get access to books, and they're able to relate that to them. How do we access books? How do we overcome challenges? And it's really great to see the connections from, you know, the EL curriculum to their own lives, and it gives learning a new sense of meaning, really, and joy.
We read a book called A Long Walk to Water, and our teachers put us on field trips to help us see how water treatment plants works and how it could compare to other people around the world.
It's the culture that we built here from the beginning. Again, re-envisioning, reimagining the way that learning happens for our students. Year after year, now moving into our third year, achievement continues to go up. I think this year we're really going to see a major increase in student achievement.
We're truly understanding and addressing the gaps of experiences. Your experience is going to be different from mine. If you take a lot of trips and your family's got money, you're going to write about your trip to Australia, your trip to the farm. But for me, during the summer, like, you know, I just went to the park, you know, so all I'm going to write about is the park. And that was where the inequity was. That's why with New York City Reads, there was so much knowledge building. Everyone's learning about birds now. Just because, you know, like, you know, you may know more about birds and I don't, but guess what? We're all learning about birds. That is the big piece that we're incredibly, you know, excited about, and that's how we're addressing inequity.
To learn about the modern butterfly and different animals, it's very cool because we learn about their habitat, their defense mechanism, what they eat. So I think it's really, really, really cool that we're actually learning about these animals.
Oh, Leo, would you like to try? And what happened before when they tried? Nice and long.
In order to scale the great work from these two schools, we develop lab sites where teachers across the district can actually visit these teachers and also conduct lesson studies.
So take a look at your note catcher. You're gonna take 2 silent minutes to observe and question just like a researcher would do. So this means go through, look at the diagrams, look at the pictures, look at the headings, the titles. Over the past year, we were a lab site classroom, which means that teachers from other schools have come into our room to watch us teach. We had a debrief period with questions and insights on how we plan and how we work together and use our assessment to drive instruction. What else do rattlesnakes do? Go ahead, Jen. You got it, Jane. Yes, good. Have that confidence, girl. You got it. They camouflage. It's easier to learn something when you see it live versus just reading about it online or looking at a plan. It kind of helps you understand how it should look and flow within an actual classroom. Boom. From predators, right? Boom. You brain match my poison.
And like something like it's not your friend or
boom.
Having the mixed group opportunity to be able to listen to one another and learn from each other gives us different insight.
And that helps, especially, you know, when you're starting off, to see what it can be and to see how other people have modified it for their classes can give you a little confidence to modify it for your own and also see what it could be once you're comfortable with it.
Just break it down, take it piece by piece, take all the opportunities to go see other classrooms, see it in action. It could look different in your classroom, and that's okay. The main goal is just the students are number one and making sure that we get them where we need them to be when it comes to NYC Reads. And it may look like a lot at first, but you'll get there.
I always say that it's not just about selecting a shared curriculum, or it's not just about teaching a curriculum. It's really about the entire literacy experience. And that's what New York City Reads brings. It makes sure that our families are stronger partners with their students' learning. Parents are taking trips with students in alignment with units. So it's been truly transformative.
We were able to bring in spaces and places in the community where everyone's lived experience had an opportunity to be shared and have a voice.
We hope we can continue
continue and sustain this partnership.
We formed book clubs where we had had students do read-alouds for our families of the books that they were reading in class.
As a parent, it's a way of getting the help my child needs without having to pay, right? Taking advantage of what I cannot afford. I feel that New York Reads is opening a door of not only some children get it, but all children get it.
We believe that families are untapped natural resources in education.
We all have stories, right? So I'm actually born and raised in the Lower East Side. My sons, I have 2 boys, 9 and 19. And with my 19-year-old, there was a struggle with reading. As a parent, single parent, I lived in the Bronx, I lived in Long Island, I lived in so many places, right? And that caused my son to be kind of disconnected and not having that stable, school, right? And he was lacking. He got left back in 3rd grade. Wasn't offered services when he needed services. And I didn't know better. Until this day, my son has issues reading and writing. And sorry if my eyes get watery, but it's just, as a single parent, we go through a lot.
It gets me emotional because it's true, that the families really rely on us. My parents relied on the teachers to teach me how to read.
Sip sugary nectar with your bendy straw tongue. Yum.
As the NYC Reads Ambassador, it's one of the things that we're working is to make sure we have more hubs within District 1. We want to have a space for children, right? So investment, invest in NYC Reads. It's a program that works. It works, again, we all need to work together.
Come, I want to show you the book room. All of the new books and boxes we're giving to the Essex Street Market for all those parent events that you're going to have. We'd like to get them in the hands of families and kids. So
for sure. Out of the boxes in the hands of kids, right?
I want you to look, and I want you to let me know what you remember about reading fiction.
That feeling of struggling on how to read and really stays with me. And so now, given what I do now, I want to make sure that children feel successful in reading and the teachers have the right training and the professional development and the resources to teach kids how to read effectively.
Okay, so this is a true story from Afghanistan. Let's put that in the cultural. This is culture right here.
I can speak, directly for myself and my daughter, where in the beginning she had 0 interest in reading. But now, ever since the NYC Reads initiative took place, my daughter now, she's like, Mom, look at this, check out this book. This is what I'm reading now.
I would like to say that New York City has finally got it right after a long time of really being in the wrong direction. So I think that we've got something really solid that's research-based and that we can believe in it. And I think all of us are seeing the progress that's being made. And it just makes you feel a lot more confident and positive. And knock on wood, in 10 years, these kids are going to be, in high school and college? They're going to know how to write a research paper.
Children don't have to be left behind. That is the ultimate role for us as educators when we talk about equity and access. It was clear to me that we really needed to continue with New York City Reads.
Because if you walk into a reading class in New York City, I can tell you exactly what you'll see. Students engage in excellent, rigorous, evidence-based instruction, guided by a teacher with specialized training and deep pedagogical knowledge. And this level of consistency and quality, especially at this scale, is transformative. And now we are seeing the results.
Welcome back to Inside City Hall. The statewide standardized test results are in, and it shows the city's public school students made big gains in math and in reading last year. The English Language Arts exam increased by more than 7 points compared to 2024 to a little over 56%.
This is really a testament to the type of collaboration that happens across all stakeholder groups. So our literacy ambassadors, our families who were trained on the science of reading and championing it, and then of course working in great partnership with our unions. That collaborative nature was there to make this work. We focused ourselves, and as you said perfectly, our kids showed up.
Don't throw it out, right? There's too much invested in it. We know that this is what's going to work. So we got to stick through it.
They're so excited to read now, just so engaged in the lessons, and they're ready to book shop. They're always asking for more books, and they're like, okay, I want more books. Can I have more books in my book baggie? So it's just their excitement for reading.
There's just a lot more joy in the classroom. Correct. So New York City Reads is, in addition to learning how to read, is also to improve their literacy experiences overall.
You have my support as the education chair and to make sure we see this to the finish line. And thank you for including parents in this journey. If parents are not on this journey, we're not going to succeed. That's right. So the fact that you're partners and you owning this ownership and then empowering you as a parent, and that your child sees that, they're gonna flex their muscle like, look, I can read. My mother taught me. Right? Exactly.
Literacy, yes, it is about reading a book, right? But it's also reading to learn. Curiosity and making sense of the world. Literacy is everywhere.
Beautiful. How do you know that I have some of the sounds that you picked I have in my lesson? I am smart. You are. You are my friend. Thank you. Good job. I'm your friend too. You are my friend. Good job.